Hey there, my name's Billy Mack. I play music with my friends under the name Billy Mack Collector, and I'm putting out a new album sometime in the next few months called Songs About Water and Trying to Feel Okay. The songs all sort of make a narrative of the various ways I've dealt with depression throughout my life, and I thought it would be fun to give you a little bit of a explanation about the songs and a little teaser to the music in the background. So I'm just going to go through the tracks real quick and tell you a bit about them. Track 1, How Tired Are You? I wrote this song back in 2017. It's actually the oldest song on the album. The rest were all written in 2020. This song was written in the deepest depths of my sadness, burnout from running a coffee shop, feeling like there was no one to talk to, having no money, feeling nihilistic about both the future of myself and the world. This song is about trying to survive the pits of sadness when you can't even imagine tomorrow existing. Track 2, Evaporate. 2 years later, I'm a dad. I'm trying to find a new way to exist. My whole life up until this point was made of dramatic, life-altering swings every couple of years. And for once, I didn't really want to travel or uproot my life. I was feeling okay, but not too high, not too low, and it was both peaceful and unsettling, and this song tries to capture that. Track 3, A Gentle World. This song is a rumination on pain and hurt. It's both a musical and spiritual sequel to a song I wrote in 2013 called A Ghost Walks Into a Supermarket. It's about a friend of mine that passed away that year. The song is about wishing the world didn't run on the pain of others, trying to find peace and quiet in the times that you spend with nature and loved ones, just envisioning a kinder, gentler future, even through all evidence pointing towards that not being the case. Track 4, Why I Got This Way. Somewhere in the last few years, I became very socially anxious. It became difficult for me to pick up the phone and call my friends, whether it was just to talk or tell them that I needed someone. I just couldn't get myself to do it. I isolated myself deeply after both a bunch of personal and social experiences that left me feeling real low on self-esteem. This song is about trying to let me like myself again and trust that other people like me. Track 5, Shrugs. I'm getting older. It happened without me noticing. I've gained a bunch of weight. I've got bags around my eyes, and when I look at pictures of people at shows, they all look so young, like kids. And, I spent so much of my life in such a youthful world of the punk rock scene, and, being a dad and being kind of settled, it feels very strange. I thought it would be fun to put the most youthful sounding music of the album in a song about getting older. Track 6, Cup of Water. I spend so much time trying to understand why I'm sad, looking for the deep and beautiful and devastating truth behind every single one of my feelings. When sometimes I just need to drink a cup of water or go for a walk. So the song is me trying to ground myself and realize that not every feeling I have is tied to some deeper truth that I need to pull out of myself. Track 7, The Singing Tree. Right before my twin kiddos, Felix and Kirby, were born, I went down to New Orleans. Actually, the month before they were born. While I was there, I was told about a park with something called the Singing Tree in it. And the Singing Tree was this giant, giant tree with these giant, giant wind chimes, and I went and sat under it with my friend, and I meditated for what felt like a very, very long time on the idea of gentleness and how I wanted my kids to live in a gentle, kind world, and just trying to envision that future, because I think that does help to just imagine that sort of future. I was moved to tears in that moment, and that's not something that happens to me very often. It was just a beautiful place and beautiful thoughts, and woman with a stroller went by with children in it, and hearing the sounds of them just like sort of jolted me into the next phase of my existence. Track 8, The Storm. In 2007, I went to a beach in Delaware called Fowler Beach, and it was one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever seen on the East Coast. It felt very rugged, and there were horseshoe crabs everywhere, and it was just sort of a beautiful, isolated spot. A couple years later, I think it was 2011, I tried to go back and show someone that was special to me, and we were driving down this road. It's a long road to get there, and all of a sudden we hit a guardrail, and on the other side of the guardrail is the ocean. The road just stops and you're at the ocean. The beach was gone, and up the road we ran into someone who said that the beach had been destroyed in one of the last hurricanes, and at that moment I felt like I truly had an understanding of the power of nature and global warming in a way that I hadn't before, just that land can disappear. It's something that I never really thought about, and it really struck me and struck an emotional chord with me. That's what that song's about. Track 9, It Always Seems. I have bad dreams all the time. I'm haunted by nightmares. I often attribute them to some sort of guilt that follows me around everywhere, but I don't really know why I have them. It could be a million things. I wake up confused and unsettled on the regular, trying to figure out why these kind of thoughts follow me. I see people die in my dreams all the time, and I think I'm a pretty peaceful person. I've only thrown one punch in my life, and I missed, and that was in high school, so I don't know why these sorts of violent dreams follow me. I mean, I don't even watch horror movies. I can't handle it. Anyway. Track 10, Inebriated and Irritated. In my late teens and early 20s, I would people watch and gossip constantly. I often looked down on people for liking the wrong things, or following trends, or doing popular stuff, all that fun stuff. I thought I knew better than them, but I was really just sort of making myself miserable and writing off people that were perfectly decent people just trying to survive and like what they liked, and you don't have to intellectualize everything you like, and when you start disliking people for trivial reasons like that, you're just isolating yourself, but I think it was part of how I was dealing with being down. When you're feeling sad, the world is a lot easier to dislike, and I was sort of projecting that onto people that were strangers. Track 11, I Return to the Bus. I spent the better part of 2013 and 2014 touring around by myself, playing music in people's basements and living rooms and in coffee shops and parks and all that fun stuff. I rode the megabus around. I just bought cheap bus tickets and went wherever it took me. I had ups and downs, and I was running from myself and everything else around me, but it was beautiful. It was fun. I really enjoyed that I did it, and no matter how iffy things got on the road, I knew I'd always end up back on the bus again. But I didn't think about anything too hard because I didn't really feel like there was time to actually invest in my life because all my experiences were so episodic. Track 12, Never Ever Felt. In the late spring of 2020, I started taking antidepressants. It took a lot to admit to myself that I couldn't solve my sadness just by somehow fixing my life. It was hard to do, but it was also kind of freeing at the same time. This song is, in a lot of ways, the opposite of the first track. I've been talking to a therapist, and I've been making strides in maintaining some sort of equilibrium and mental stability. It's not like I'm cured, but I feel a lot better than I did a couple years ago, and that's enough for me. So, even though this album's all about sadness, I like to think it ends on a hopeful and positive note. So that's all I got to say about this album right now. I hope that it finds its way out soon and that everybody likes it, or some people like it. But anyway, it was a really cathartic experience for me to write it, and I feel like I did a lot of growing in writing these songs, and I hope that they're also enjoyable to listen to. Have a good day.